Alright Warhammer fans, the Inquisition has come knocking. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, but not every war is fought with bolters and plasma fire. Some are fought in whispers, in shadows, and the kind of secrets that can destroy entire worlds. This is Warhammer 40,000 Dark Heresy, the next big CRPG by Owlcat Games. It's set deep within the Warhammer 40K universe. You'll begin as an Acolyte of the Inquisition, rooting out heresy, commanding a warband, and deciding who deserves redemption and who deserves the Emperor's wrath. It's grim, it's complex, and it's shaping up to be an incredibly ambitious story. Let's break down everything we know so far about Dark Heresy, from the setting and story to gameplay, companions, and the mysterious nightmare called the Tyrant Star. So first things first, what exactly is Dark Heresy? Well, originally it was a tabletop RPG released back in 2008, where players became the agents of the Inquisition, investigating corruption, cults, and heresy in the 41st Millennium. This version of Dark Heresy reimagines that classic experience as a full-scale CRPG, putting you in the boots of an Acolyte of the Inquisition operating in the shadows of the Imperium. You'll lead investigations, interrogate suspects, command a warband, and determine the fate of entire worlds. If Rogue Trader was Owlcat's grand space opera adventure, Dark Heresy is the shadow that hides behind it, tighter, darker, and far more personal. So now that you know what Dark Heresy is, let's talk about where it all takes place and what nightmare you've been sent to stop. The game takes place in the Calixis Sector, one of the most corrupt and dangerous corners of the Imperium. It's a region riddled with bureaucracy, ancient rivalries, and planetary systems that haven't seen true hope in centuries. And looming all over it is the Tyrant Star, a mysterious celestial phenomenon that has been haunting this part of the galaxy for generations. Some scholars think that it's a cosmic omen, others whisper it's the herald of something far worse. Whatever it may be, it's driving people insane, and your Inquisitor has been sent to uncover its truth before it consumes the entire sector. You'll be the Emperor's will made manifest in a place that lost faith long ago, investigating the mysteries of the Tyrant Star and surviving the horrors of the Noctis Aeterna. This isn't just another heretic hunt, it's part investigation, part apocalypse prevention. Now, before we talk about gameplay, we need to talk about who you are in the game and what it really means to serve the Inquisition. You start off as an Acolyte, an agent of the Inquisition. You're not a Space Marine or Primarch, you're human, fragile, flawed, and utterly disposable. Your mission? Protect the Imperium from itself, root out corruption, Xenos influence, demonic infection, and plain old human greed. The Inquisition is a vast paranoid machine of power. Within it are endless rival factions, Puritans who cling to doctrine, radicals who twist it to suit their needs, and every single one believes they are doing the Emperor's work. You'll get to explore that internal chaos firsthand. Every investigation, every judgment, every execution will shape how your peers and your enemies see you. Will you stand as a devout Puritan or become a radical willing to use heresy itself to fight greater evils? Now let's get into how the game actually plays, because the developers are keeping their signature turn-based tactical combat, but with a sharper focus on precision and control. Every shot, every move, every panic matters. You'll need to manage morale just as much as ammo, because fear spreads faster than fire on the field. It's said that the combat will be slower, more methodical, and some encounters will feel like a desperate struggle for survival. Morale is looking to play a keen role too. a shaken soldier fights worse, panics faster, and might even compromise the mission. Outside combat, Dark Heresy becomes something entirely different. An investigative RPG. You'll interrogate suspects, gather evidence, and connect threads across dialogue, environments, and missions. The developers are looking to introduce a full investigative system where you draw conclusions based on clues, and if you get it wrong, the consequences could be catastrophic. You might condemn the innocent, or unleash something far worse. This isn't just about what you fight, it's about what you believe. And speaking of belief, well, let's talk about the people who will follow you into this nightmare. Your warband is your lifeline, and your biggest liability. Every Inquisitor builds their team differently, and yours will be a wild mix of loyal soldiers, alien mercenaries, and some people who perhaps shouldn't be trusted. Among your allies is Epion Spex, a gifted Medicae from the Tyrant Cabal who believes compassion is a weapon just as powerful as faith. She's the one stitching everyone back together when things go wrong, but she's also a voice of conscience, challenging the brutal logic of the Inquisition every chance she gets. Then there's Hamar Davos, a veteran Katakan guardsman who's survived so many war zones he treats violence like a second language. He's blunt, fearless, and maybe just a bit tired of all the killing. Hamar represents the raw, unfiltered humanity of the Imperium, the soldier who fights because it's all he's ever known. Cog, officially Conscript 0118B, is an Ogrein with a brain implant meant to enhance comprehension. The result? A massive powerhouse with surprising self-awareness and a heart far bigger than his vocabulary. He'll smash through heretics without hesitation, but he'll also ask questions no one else dares to. Then we have Ra'akti, a Kroot mercenary and exile who brings alien cunning to your group. Her instincts are pure survival, her loyalty conditional, and her worldview completely alien to Imperial dogma. She's proof that sometimes the heretic you hire is the only one who gets the job done. And finally, there's Larthia Caernareth, an Eldari Corsair and psychic Wayseeker whose motives are mysterious as the warp itself. He's elegant, ancient, and manipulative, a being who sees humanity's struggle as one part of a much larger game. His presence in your warband alone is enough to test your faith. Each companion is fully voiced with their own loyalties, opinions, and breaking points. They'll argue, challenge you, and sometimes betray you depending on your choices. This isn't a squad, it's a crucible. You'll depend on them to survive, even when you can't trust them. We've covered the gameplay, now let's talk about the tone, because this isn't your usual Save the Galaxy story. Dark Heresy leans hard into moral greyness. There is no actual good outcome here, only choices that buy the Imperium one more day of survival. You're the judge, the jury, and executioner, and sometimes the very thing that you are hunting. It's a story of corruption and faith, where every victory costs something. Your conscience, your allies, maybe even your soul. If Rogue Trader was about freedom and discovery, Dark Heresy is about consequence and guilt. Every judgment you pass ripples outward. Someone always pays the price. And hanging over it all is the Tyrant Star. The Tyrant Star isn't just a mystery, it's the heartbeat of the entire game. It's described as a monstrous star-like object, wreathed in unnatural darkness, appearing without warning across the Calixis Sector. When it manifests, day turns into night, a black sun burns in the heavens, and entire systems descend into madness. Mass death follows, warp storms flare, cities collapse. It's less a celestial event and more a punishment that tears reality apart wherever it appears. The Inquisition calls it Komus, though no one actually agrees on what it is. Some claim it's a warp rift or a demon made manifest. Others whisper that it's the Emperor's shadow, a cosmic reflection of humanity's sin. Whatever the truth, it's been appearing more frequently, its power growing stronger, and its influence spreading further each time. In response, the Inquisition created the Tyrant Cabal, a secretive conclave based on the moon Calixis, orbiting Scintilla. Their mission? Study the star, predict its appearances, and uncover its nature. But like all things touched by the warp, obsession breeds corruption. Many within the Cabal have gone mad, convinced the Tyrant Star is both prophecy and salvation. Your investigation ties directly into this mystery. You'll be sent to uncover what the Tyrant Star really is, and how it connects to the heresies rising across the sector. But in true Inquisition fashion, you'll have to decide whether to face it as a servant of faith, or risk everything by trying to understand it. The star tempts as much as it destroys. The Tyrant Star isn't just another threat, it's the embodiment of Dark Heresy's core themes. Faith versus knowledge, purity versus corruption, and the terrible price of understanding the truth. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about how this beast of a game is actually being built. The developers say that the game is being built from the ground up, not just as a reskin of Rogue Trader. The user interface, animations, tone, and even storytelling tools have been redesigned to fit a darker, investigative structure. Every environment is handcrafted to feel like it's decaying under its own faith. Every line of dialogue is fully voiced. The game is coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, though no release dates confirmed just yet. Most fans expect it to be sometime around 2027. What is clear, however, is that this will be one of the most narrative-driven CRPGs in Warhammer history. A mix of gothic horror, political paranoia, and moral collapse. So that's everything that we know about Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy, a game about paranoia, power, and the price of faith. A story where every victory feels like another step towards damnation. You'll investigate cults, lead your warband, and face the truth of the Tyrant Star, all while deciding whether you can still call yourself loyal to the Emperor. So tell me in the comments, what kind of Inquisitor would you be? The unbending Puritan, or the radical who uses heresy to fight heresy? If you enjoyed this breakdown and this video, make sure that you hit the like button, it really helps me out. And just so you know, there should be a big announcement next week specifically about Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy and the alpha playtesting for the early backers of the game. If you'd like to join the community on Discord, I'll leave a link in the video description. It would be great to see you there. Oh, and remember, the Emperor protects, but the Inquisition investigates.